Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today is the day that we finally do the first page of my new sketchbook. I say new, but if you have been following my videos for a while, you would have noticed that I've actually have been using the sketchbook for a while now. Probably since like September, I think. But I am just now finally doing the first page, which I also realize now too that is kind of I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm cheating. I don't know, I guess it's ridiculous to say I'm cheating, but I kind of am because I'm literally doing it on a different piece of paper because I don't think ahead ever, and I'm not the smartest person in the world because I decided to use marker on the page after the first page. That's how you say that. That sounded weird. And so it bled through, and I didn't want that to be on the first page, so I had to grab a new piece of paper and go over that instead. So I'm kind of a clown, but it's fine. Nothing new. So yeah, so this isn't even technically like the actual first page, but I tape it down, so it is. Whatever. Pretty annoying. Anyway though, if you watched my last video, I was talking about my new OCs that I recently made, and I wanted to include them in this first page because I kind of wanted to have, because even though like I know like you don't have to, I understand that like sketchbooks are not meant to be like perfect looking or whatever, but I do like to have intro pages to my sketchbook because it's fun. I like welcoming into them. And my last like couple of sketchbooks I've had like really bad intro pages, so like I really took my time on this one. And also part of the reason why it took me so long to finally do the first page is because I was waiting to design these characters fully and get their color palettes down, so that's why it took me so long to like finally do it. And also because I don't know, I know other artists because I've heard other people talk about this too. There's kind of like an anxiety to starting a new sketchbook, and like doing the first page is like kind of nerve-wracking because you want it to look good. I mean, not everyone obviously, but I do tend to get in my head with it, and I'm also like, so I did purposely also like I waited to do this first page for a while because of that too, because I was kind of anxious about it, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean at the end of the day it really does not matter. Sketchbooks are literally for experimenting and playing around, you know. But I don't know, I wanted mine to look nice and pretty, so here I am. It's my sketchbook, I can do whatever I want. But yeah, I wanted to draw these OCs though that I've recently made, and now that I finally have their color palettes down and everything, I could finally do this first page, which is very, very fun. And I had such a fun time doing this. For a while, I was trying to decide if I wanted to do this in marker fully, or if I wanted to do it in watercolor, but I decided to go with marker for the characters, and then later on you'll see I ended up making the background and the lettering and stuff. I ended up using colored pencil and watercolor, which I'm actually, again, I really like how this piece turned out. I think one of the big changes I made between my last video and currently now with these OCs, which again I am known for, I change my OCs a lot. Again, these designs are probably not gonna stay forever the same. Like I tend to like change things around and stuff, but one of the things I did decide to change that I really like is the character that is shorter. His name's Elliot, and I decided to give him, I wanted to change his eyebrows from previously, because previously I made them also like that very light pink color, but I decided to make them like that really dark brown. And I love that look whenever like people have like really light platinum, I don't know, I love like the platinum blonde hair, like the almost white hair with like the really dark eyebrows, and I kind of wanted to do that too with this character because I also love his eyebrows because they're so like cute and like thick, and I love them. I love drawing them, and they're so fun to draw. And so I really wanted to put more emphasis on them. Also because he's a very like expressive character. And so I wanted to, because you know, eyebrows are so like vital to facial expressions, I think. Like you can tell a lot by looking at eyebrows. So I really wanted them to be big and like prominent. And yeah, I really like that change that I made. And also now that they're actually like together, because I think in my last video you couldn't really, I think you saw a little bit of them like standing next to each other, whenever I was doing the color palette stuff on Procreate, but here you can really see them together now. And you can really see like their height difference and like just like the size difference between them, which I love drawing. And it also makes like, this is kind of like a little bit of a style shift, I would say. It's a little bit more like a simplified style to my usual. And it's so fun drawing them in like a more simplified style like this because their proportions are so like fun to play around with and really heighten them, and you can really see like just the size difference between them. And it's just so fun it's really, really fun to do that. I had a lot of fun drawing. I really have a fun time drawing these two characters, which I think is very, at least for me personally, because I'm so weird when it comes to OCs and like continuously drawing them. And I like genuinely have such a fun time drawing both of these characters, which is a good thing because it makes me want to keep drawing them. And one of my favorite parts too of this character also, which I still don't have a name for him. I need to figure out a name. I love drawing his hair though. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to draw. I love it. I just love like the shape of it. And yeah, and like how big, and like I love drawing the little flyaways. I say that all the time. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And yeah, it's just so satisfying. And I really like too, I love this paper. I was originally gonna use, I think Bristol, I think it was like marker paper I was originally gonna use, but because I actually have a lot of marker paper, I realized recently that I need to, I don't know, start utilizing maybe more. I might do more like I love doing like really detailed marker art, so that could actually be an excuse for me to do more of that. But originally I was going to use that, but I found this mixed media paper I had, which I don't remember what it's called. I'll try to link it in the video. But I really like this paper actually a lot with marker. I also, as I was saying before, I end up using watercolor on it too. And I will say the watercolor does buckle it pretty badly. I did end up taping it down so it wouldn't be as noticeable, obviously. But I think that's kind of also like, I don't know, whenever you're putting a lot of water down on anything though, like, even if it is like mixed media paper, I feel like it has to be like really thick for it not to buckle. But I really love just the way that the marker interacts with this, and there is like quite a big obviously like a texture that you can see, which if that's not your thing, you might not like this with marker, because I know a lot of people like the very smooth, how smooth stuff is with marker. But I personally though, I really love texture in my art. Anytime I'm on like Procreate or whatever, I'm always adding like a lot of grain to it because I just love that look when it comes to I don't know, I like the texture a lot. And I don't know, I just love the way too that the color was laying down on the paper. It was very different from like my Elo sketchbook that I usually like draw on. I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like it laid down like a little bit darker. And I'm also though just like so, yeah, I don't know. I just really like the way, and it was also just like really sad. Like I had a very like relaxing time coloring this. It was like a very satisfying process. And I just had a lot of fun doing it, and I really took my time. I wanted it to look like really nice, and I'm really happy too. I ended up also in my original, my last, again I keep referencing my last video, I originally with Elliot's like overalls that he's wearing, I had a different green that I was using originally, but I decided this time around to match it with the skin color of my other character with the mask. I don't have a name for him. I need to freaking get a name. And I decided to end up making it the same, and I think that really also helps with making it look more cohesive and together, because again, I wanted their color palettes to really like match each other, and it makes it look a lot more cohesive. And also I think it's a lot easier too when you're drawing them over and over again to just keep only use a couple of colors instead of like a whole bunch of colors. So yeah, I'm really happy I decided to include that and change that because I think it makes it look a lot better together. And this is whenever I started obviously watercoloring, which I don't know why I don't do watercolor more often, because I tend to I had like a really big phase where I was doing it like constantly, and that's like when I really learned how to do watercolor. But But every time I come back to it, like I always have like a lot of fun with it. And like this time especially, I had so much fun. Again, I really love this paper. I had so much fun like laying down this color and just like mixing it and everything. And it was like so relaxing to do. And I always like, whenever I go back to watercolor, I tend to have a really good time with it. And I don't know why I don't do more of it. I should. I kind of want to do more like, I don't know, mixed media art in general. It's really fun. And I love this technique that I've done a while too, where I wanted the two characters, obviously, I wanted them to be like the focal point in this drawing. And so that's also kind of why I wanted to make them marker. I wanted to color them a marker because it's a lot more like it stands out a little bit more on the page. But and that's why, and then I like having like the background be watercolor, because watercolor is a lot more like subtle than a marker, unless you add a lot of layers. And I don't know, it makes the background look a lot softer, which I really like. And I'm also like, I'm not great with backgrounds. I don't do enough of them. But I really love this effect, and it makes me want to do more stuff like that and more like finished pieces, and just play around too with like more colored pencil too. And again, like I really love like the soft look, and I also, again, like I just really love the colors here too. I like how soft they are and like warm. I really gravitate towards a lot of very warm color palettes and a lot more like, I would say, pastel colors. I don't like super overly saturated colors personally. I like more like subtle pastels and like, I don't know. I like warmer colors. I feel like nothing that I'm saying is making sense. And also I looked up this like really cool, for reference, I looked up this flower. It was like an exotic plant I was trying to find, because I want them to be in like a fantasy world. And Elliot is like he works as like a gardener right now. I don't have much with their story fully done, but I was really happy though with how these like plants and stuff turned out. And this is definitely the best like welcoming page I think I've actually ever done in a sketchbook. So yeah. And then this too, usually in Elo sketchbooks they have like the first page, next to it there's usually a page that's like, tinted. And I usually I don't think on my last one that I ever did anything with this, because I didn't like know what to do. But this time around I really wanted to also draw something on it, and originally I was going to do a couple of little sketches, but I ended up deciding to just do one big sketch with also those two OCs of mine. And this is also so much fun to do. I've been doing a lot more pen sketches recently, and I just recently got this huge box of Bic pens, which are like just normal like office pens that you can buy that are not that expensive. And I freaking love these pens. I love these pens more than like the microns or like the more expensive. I love sketching. These I would really recommend, honestly, for sketching at least. I would recommend these pens. They're great. I love them so much. There's also like, you can also get like different colored ones too, but just like, I love the way the black turned out too on this like more tinted yellowish paper. And you can get like so many different like, I don't know, variations of line and stuff in them. And like they're really great too for like lighter sketching. And then I feel like too, once you get used to them and your wrist gets used to them, you can get so many like dynamic lines with them and like shading things. And it is something that you definitely have to practice though, because it's definitely, for me at least too, like in the beginning I was kind of more heavy handed with the sketching process, and so I had to like make myself try to be more light-handed when I was doing the original sketch. But whenever I was like actually lining it and everything, I was getting like more and more in the groove, and you can like really layer with them too. And I really like, personally, when it comes to shading, like this was so fun when I was doing the hair. I do really like that like crosshatch look, and I like whenever you can see like the overlap over things. I know sometimes people like more like the really blended, but I personally like whenever you can see that overlap more. I don't know why. I like the way that, I don't know, I like the sketchy look, I guess. And yeah, like drawing his hair. Oh, I love drawing his hair so much. I want to practice more too though with different ways to draw hair and like shading hair and doing strands and stuff. And also I think especially adding highlights in hair. I really want to practice that more. Because I don't know, I want to try to get more dynamic look and hair, I guess. Maybe more like a realistic look. I'm not sure yet, but this was so much fun to do. I had a great time. Again, this character here, especially, I love their design so much. I love it, love it, love it, love it. It's so fun to do. And again, like I kind of said this in my last video, but he really is just like all of my favorite things to draw, basically in one. Like, I love masked characters. I love off-colored skin. He has like that crazy green. He's like a goblin, by the way. Anyone's curious what he is supposed to be. And my other character is a nymph. And I say this every time, but those little flyaways, try it out sometime. If you don't like have that in your art, I would recommend trying it out because it really does add, I think, so much, especially if you have a character that has very wavy or like curly hair, because like hair is not perfect. It's not like perfectly suctioned to your head. You have like flyaways, and I think it really does add a lot of dynamic, I don't know, things to art. Even if you have straight hair though too, you can still even add those in fun different ways. But yeah, this was so much fun to do. I really am proud of how it turned out, and I hope everyone really enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to complete and work on this sketchbook with everyone and see the journey as it plays out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.